Hi, today we're going to take a look at ratios. We're going to write ratios in simplest form and finding the unit ratio. So what is a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two quantities, sometimes three quantities or four, but here we're looking for two quantities. We've got 250 teachers, 3,120 students, and we want to find the student to teacher ratio. So I want this. I need to know my students, I need to know my teachers, but we can write this in three different ways. We could say one quantity to another quantity, A to B. We could say A colon B, quantity colon quantity. And we could also say this as a fraction. These are three ways to represent the same information. And if you look, we have one of those here in our word problem. So I want to take this and follow that order, but I want to write it as a fraction. So student to teacher, we read left to right. Let's go left, right, up, down. So in this case, student first, 3120 over 250. So there are 3,120 students to 250 teachers. Cool. There's a ratio, but it's not in simplest form. So in this case, you just simplify like you would any other fraction. The only thing they share is a 10, so we end up getting 312 over 25, and that's your simplified form of your ratio. Sometimes we want to figure out what our unit ratio is. Unit ratio is when our bottom quantity is a value of 1. And in this case, I want to find how many students do we get per every teacher, every one teacher. So how do you get that? We just have to divide these two numbers up. And we end up getting 12.48 over 1. So calculator, punch those two things in. You get 12.48 over 1, and that is students per one teacher. And that is writing a ratio, simplifying a ratio, and finding the unit ratio.